All right, next assignment, we're going to talk about complex numbers from absolute value and an angle. So you will be given the absolute value or the magnitude. That's the same thing. That's what we covered in an earlier lesson, and you'll be given the angle. All right, so basically what we have here is we have a complex number that has a magnitude of 12. That's the distance that it is from the origin, and we also know that the angle is 45 degrees. All right, if we sketch a little triangle here, what we're trying to figure out is what is A and what is B. And we're going to use some trigonometry. We're going to use some SOHCAHTOA that we learned in geometry. All right, the formula for each of these is the same every time. We're going to use the magnitude. So the absolute value, in this case it'll be 12, times, this is for A now, the first part, times the cosine of 45. For letter B, 12 times the sine of 45. If they give us the angle in degrees, our calculator should be in degrees. If they give us the angle in radians, the calculator should be in radians. All right, so this first one, let's pull up the calculator. Gonna have to switch to scientific. So 12 times 45 cosine, get 8.485. All right, so we're supposed to round to, oh wait, it says exact terms. Darn it, calculator will not help us. All right, so how can we do that? How can we ever come up with the cosine of 45 without a calculator? All right, we're going to have to use our old friend. We're going to have to pull up a unit circle. So let's Google that really quick. Unit circle. You don't have to memorize this. Let's click on images, and let's look at this one. I like this pink image here. All right, so if we're looking at the unit circle, and I open this image in a new tab so I can get a little bigger view, what we notice is if we go to 45 degrees, which is where we're interested, we see pi over 4. That's the measurement in radians. That's the radian measure. But then we have these. This is the cosine. So look, that's the cosine. The second coordinate is the sine. So if we're asked to find the cosine of 45, my thought process goes like this. I'm going to look, all right, let's find 45. Then I look, there's the cosine, there's the sine. Right there. If they ask me to find what is the exact terms of the cosine of 120, I go to 120, just the random angle, right? The cosine is first. That's what it tells us over here. The sine is second. All right, let's clear all that off. So if we look again, we see these two things. Square root of 2 over 2 and square root of 2 over 2, which makes sense. It's a 45 degree angle. All right, they should be the same. So if I'm looking, this becomes the square root of 2 over 2. So what is 12 times the square root of 2 over 2? Well, I can simplify it this way. 12 over 2 becomes 6 times the square root of 2. That's an exact term for A. For B, the sine is also the square root of 2 over 2. Once I simplify, 12 over 2 turns into 6. It's the exact same thing. All right, so when we write it in this form right in here, we have to write it as a complex number. So I should write it this way. 6 square root 2 plus 6 square root 2. And make sure we tack the I on. Make sure the I is not underneath the square root. Just be careful there. There's our answer. All right, you should use the same method every time on every question. Write down the formula that we did in the beginning, right there. Take our magnitude times the cosine, magnitude times the sine, and then we have it.